red connection that came out to every letter. It was a letter, and we were the only one doing it. It was hard to find funding for it. It was very hard to find funding.
Ah,
We are
interesting.
online, but we did a lot of fun parties.
Yes, 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 yes.
It's needed
Well,
now. It's needed now.
it's a different. Ooh, I'm saying I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore.
All right, Mr. Gregory, we are live.
Good morning. Welcome to the community briefing. My name is Gregory Sneed, and today is the 16th of July of 2026. We are in our 7th year of bringing you great information through this video podcast and information. So we are glad you're here. We have a great guest today, and we're going to be getting some wonderful information. A lot of it centered around the fintech and financial education, things to better yourself and to empower others. My name is Gregory Sneed, CEO of Lifesaver Financial Services, and now it's my pleasure and joy. Oh, and also we want to welcome you all back. We had tree works weeks off, not three. We had tree weeks to enjoy the summer, the 4th of July, and just kind of take a break. So now, for the first time in the month of July 2026, please welcome the Queen, Miss Crystal Mitchell.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. It just was hard to it was hard to navigate. So we just decided we needed a little rest. We all needed a little rest. Welcome, guys. I am, as Greg said, Crystal Mitchell. I'm the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars and the inspiration behind the community briefing, the place where you come to connect with the people that are doing things in our city and around the country, actually. And actually, I think we've had some folks from around the world that's been on the program. So this is where you meet your leaders and stakeholders and make connections and find out what is really going on outside of the silo that we operate in. So we want to thank you guys for joining us. Our regulars, hello, glad you guys are back. And we do have a great guest. And investment is the thing, man, but you need to know how to do it and you know how to do it properly. And so that's what she's going to talk to us about. I am also a business coach and consultant for the youth and adult community. I just finished 3 weeks of working with 38 of the most incredible young people, teaching them how to be entrepreneurs. And it was fun and exciting, exhausting because I had to wake up at 5 in the morning. Not something that I liked. But the kids were awesome. And so now we have 4 new entrepreneurs that have won prizes. And so I'm excited. And majority of them want to come back in the fall. So we'll see what that looks like. So we have a fantastic team. But before I get to the team, our sponsors, this program is powered and sponsored by Recycling Black Dollars and the BBA. And our monetary sponsors are Los Angeles LDC, Southern California Edison, Wells Fargo Bank, PCR, Business Finance Center, and SoCal Gas and Urban Excellence. And so we want to thank them for having faith in us and continuing to support us. So thank them. And our team, you met Greg, our Stephen Turner is the producer. He should be popping in shortly. But we have Miss Robin Billups, and she will introduce herself. Hello, Robin.
Greetings, everybody. This is my birthday month. Saturday is my actual birthday. I
Oh,
just want you
oh,
guys to
happy
know that.
birthday. Okay,
Um,
okay,
what
yay.
would I like for my birthday? I'll be 71. I'd like to find 71 newly registered voters. How about
Oh,
that?
wow. All right,
How
that
about
that
that?
works. That works.
That would just be lovely if we could just get 71 new voters. You know, voting is so critically important. I'm Robin Billups with the Billups Group. I assess, coach, and help folks get to a strategic framework for the goals that the Lord has blessed them with. Um, but again, what's important to me is voting. You know, again, that's our voice. And the more we can get educated around voting, around finance, about investments, around laying tracks for our future, the better off we're going to be. I'm always delighted I missed you guys. When Thursday rolls around at 11 o'clock, we know where we expect to be. So we get a little giddy when we get back because we haven't been together in 3 weeks. But again, I'm going to kick it back over to Greg so we can get started. And I look forward to today's presentation.
So that's
Thanks,
11
Stephen.
o'clock and around 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
It should be at the community briefing. So,
exactly.
As requested. So, our guest today is Miss Sabrina Lamb, and she is the founder and CEO of Wekeza. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
All right. Fintech for the African diaspora, U.S. stock market access, financial education in 10 language. And she would have to give a summary of the 10 language. Is one of them Jamaican? 10 language man, teachers, Black Ambition finalists and licensed in schools. So if you want to build and invest and build wealth, but the platforms just don't speak your language, the minimums are too high, the education doesn't reflect your reality, and the institutions that should help you, many of them just abandon you and they don't even want to earn your trust. So Sabrina Lamb is here to help folks get with that. So background information, she is a graduate of Lincoln University. Which one, the PA or the Missouri one?
There's only one. It's the PA.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Don't get twisted, Greg.
No, my mama went to Lincoln, Missouri in Missouri. So
sorry.
That's where she pledged AKA
And
long
my
time
father-in-law
ago.
went there and he wrote the Kappa's hymn there. Come on now.
Wow. I apologize. I'll take it all back.
There you go. Is there any eject button here we can like boot? No. She's done a lot of radio. I didn't know you were. I know you were on KISS, some WRKS, but also WWRL 1600 on the dial. Did you know that WWRL initially was Whites Won't Rule Long?
It was what?
Whites Won't Rule Long.
Wow.
That was during the revolutionary time. So WWRL was a Black AM radio station, very, very powerful. And they got started in the 60s. And then a number of them was give birth to WLIB FM, which became WBLS. And so anyway, we're 10 minutes in. Let's just fast forward the introduction. Let's bring Miss Sabrina Lamb to the virtual stage, and she's got some wonderful information to tell us about Wekeza, how that can help you feel better about money and investing and just being stronger financially.
And thank you so much all for the warm welcome. I'm honored to be here to present for my community briefing. It's very, very important. So I would like to share my screen and tell you a story.
Okay.
Tell a story here.
You are welcome to do so.
Drum roll, please.
This is really for all of us to remind ourselves. I was asked to speak about the racial wealth gap, and we hear that term, that phrase often. And of course, there are government policies that influence, that has caused the interruption, the destruction of people who look like all of us to accumulate generational wealth. And so I wanted to share this story and the kind of solution that my work together with my co-founders work in terms of restarting and resetting, not only for us here in the United States, but throughout the African diaspora. And so Wekeza, which means save and invest in Swahili, We provide multilingual financial education and access to investing in US stocks and ETFs for $1 a month and $1 a trade. And I am going to do something here. Okay. And now I'm going to share with you the mission of Wekeza.
In every heart, regardless of culture or birthplace, lies a deep yearning to prosper and be independent. Ou vleran souf epi, ou dwe an sécurité financière.
I now have a long-term financial plan.
Les soucis d'argent sont réels, mais je me ressource pour moi et ma famille.
Nunca acreditamos que poderíamos reconstruir o nosso legado, mas agora podemos.
Surayatu inayofuata imeanza.
What I teach my son, I teach my son's son.
From the African diaspora and across America, discover the power of Wekeza.
Sika kola bea ne sika awode beto yewa mamere.
Sika merehia me homono soba mempotam hofosum fasor.
Nun lanui mum sunukir.
Build lifetimes of financial security.
Wekeza.
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 Wekeza! We speak your language. Wekeza. Connecting communities, building financial futures. Join us now.
And so when I think about this work, I think about my great-grandparents. I think about your great-grandparents and those before them as well. My great-grandparents were named Woodrow and Jesse Ingram on my mother's side, and they dreamed of having financial independence. They dreamed of accumulating wealth, but they were denied access and they were denied opportunity. And so for the scale of this is enormous. The scale of this is an enormous problem, not only in California, but New York, but throughout the African diaspora. And millions of us, over 100 million of us are shut out from not only opportunity, from access. And so the idea of Wekeza came to me when I was speaking in Nairobi, Kenya during a conference, and I was meeting with educators and regulators and families and students to understand what were the barriers for them in Kenya to not only receive financial education, but also to invest in US stocks and their own securities. I had the same conversations when I met with the same type of profile of individuals in Ghana as well. And what they said was language. And so when we think about financial education, it's everyone may speak English, but maybe internally from a spirit-wise or cultural-wise, it is not presented in that way. And so we as people of African descent, we feel when someone is really speaking with us as opposed to us. So financial education is not one size fits all, the different cultural idiosyncrasies. And though I've mentioned in the last minute, Ghana and Kenya, those idiosyncrasies exist right here in America. There are areas of Los Angeles and California and New York and all throughout the country that are the economic lights are turned off because no company is really engaging with them, and they think, well, we speak English, so everybody should understand, and we can ignore what the cultural norms for those communities, our communities, are. And so, and also disregarding this issue of trust that started in the 1700s in terms of the eroding of trust, the founding of the Freedom National Bank, and how, formerly enslaved Africans, how their monies were stolen, supposed to be coming out of slavery, and their monies and their savings account were stolen. And so that DNA of not trusting traditional financial institutions still lives on today. And to ignore it, I say to financial institutions, and when I spoke before Congress about financial inclusion, I said, your website with financial education lessons, that doesn't speak to the history of people that look like me, language, culture, history. And so that's why no one's visiting your website. And so as I indicated earlier, 100 million people are being impacted by that. And, I'm really proud that Wekeza is on the platform for in East Africa, the largest payment solution that many people in that region of the world use to pay their school fees, to pay their, whatever they have to pay for, they use that. And so Wekeza is listed on that platform. And so, but the robustness, I've talked about the history, and we all know the history, but I thought it was important to mention that. And what's not mentioned is the robustness of our power. I'm sure you, as business owners in California, you understand the power of owning your own business, how that creates generational wealth. Thank you for being, one of the solutions in terms of generational wealth and closing wealth gaps. But no one talks about the billions of dollars that we use through the apps like Cash App and other apps, or sending money home, which is another over $100 billion that are sent from outside of Africa back home. But it's not. But in that financial behavior does not exist an opportunity to invest. It's just sending money home to my auntie in Accra, Ghana, and so it's just sending money home, paying the fee to be able to do so, but no opportunity for asset accumulation in terms of investing and compounding that financial behavior. And so ownership awaits, and just again to underscore the disparity in terms of direct stock ownership. It wasn't until 1971 when the first Black was two gentlemen, I'm sorry, names escape me, but the first Black company that were stockbrokers. And so before that, there was very little, and still very little, in terms of our collectively participation in investing in stocks. One of the drivers, in addition to owning your own properties and your businesses and so forth, and insurance, et cetera, of accumulating over long-term wealth. So you see the numbers. I mean, we are at the lower rungs in terms of our participation, and the higher number, or the higher numbers, are usually aligned to retirement accounts or a pension fund. And so when we look across the pond I just selected 3 African countries, the numbers are even lower. Again, not speaking the language, not respecting the culture, not having accessibility through, no one has the monies or can afford to pay on the continent to pay the high commission fees. That was the other challenge, that they said, well, we want to invest, but we can't pay. We don't have the money to pay, stockbrokers or what have you, to be able to invest in U.S. stocks. And there's not enough availability for publicly traded companies in our own securities in Kenya, in Ghana, in South Africa as well. And culturally in Ghana, that has a short list of publicly traded companies. It's not a cultural norm to be able to want to disclose as a company all our financials and leadership and so forth. And so that's one of the reasons why Ghana and Rwanda maybe have just a few companies listed. But the United States and New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ over time is the most robust, delivering ROI over time. And so South Africa, again, it's less than 3%. So there's just huge disparities in being able for wealth accumulation for the African diaspora. And so what is the solution, Sabrina? Our approach at Wekeza is multilingual financial education. There's English, there's French, there's Zulu, there's Tree, there is Swahili, there's Yoruba, there's Hausa, and yes, we're going to be Haitian Creole, and yes, we're going to be adding Jamaican. And so, anyone can fund their account for $1 a month, $1 a trade, $10 minimum, fractional whole share using mobile money or bank transfer or through their debit or credit card. And then so the when I was spending a lot of time there on the continent, and yes, I'm going to start going back frequently, is that I think about the woman right now in maybe Oakland, California, who is a man who's a teacher. I want him or her to have the same access to building wealth over time for asset ownership. And I want the same man or woman that right now is selling fruit along the highway in Accra, or selling tickets to whatever event in Lagos, have the same access. That's true financial inclusion. That's the same financial equity. And so over time, you do the math. This is illustrative, of course, but investing $1 every day in the S&P 500 over time, because as I was meeting with one of our members, and was saying, I just got to tell you this is not a get rich quick scheme at all. This is just putting money away, building, and then over time you can see how money grows. And so I think about Bruce Beach, and I know you all know the story. I'm very intrigued about all the interruptions that have happened here in America as well. I'm happy that the city of Manhattan Beach returned the property to the family. But as we all know, it shouldn't have been taken in the first place. But those kind of interruptions, I think about, yes, that happened. Yes, we have to always remember. Yes, we have to remember Tulsa. Yes, we have to remember Haiti in North Carolina. There's so many communities and economic viability that were destroyed. But then what are the solutions in terms of hitting the reset, and what are the drivers in terms of solutions that we have to that I believe that we need to do. And so I encourage everyone to, and I believe you all do, but everyone that I speak to open an account. Doesn't have to be with Wekeza, but open an account and just start. If you have children or grandchildren, that everyone, and preferably with a Black-owned bank. I'm proud to say that Wekeza is Black-owned. I'm the founder, have a African-American co-founder. Our broker-dealer partner is Black as well. Our global payment provider is Black as well. And then who we do bank business with is Carver Federal Bank here in Harlem. We believe in terms of holding hands economically so that we can restart this economic divide. And so I always keep my ancestors, and you probably do too, Woodrow and Jesse and the Bruce family, and all along the California coast. And let's wherever we are, let's say, oh no, Sabrina, I'm good. And just like I think it was Crystal or Robin said, I have to call 30 people, 30 voters. And then if you have that relationship with them, that they can start making sure that their own financial security is an urgent priority as well. And so thank you so much. I'll stop sharing my screen and answer any questions you may have.
So thank you very much, Sabrina. That was very powerful and obviously very important. What I take about it is it's a learning platform for for our culture, for the complete African diaspora. It seems like it involves education and tools. And that people can, I guess, access it. Did you say it was $1 a month or something like that? $1.
Yeah, $1.
$12 a year. To get
$1 a month, $1 a trade. But I also want to add, Greg, because I may forget it, so I just want to add it now. Yeah. Is that when anyone downloads the app, one of the first choices they make is which language do they want to navigate the app in. So if your first language is Haitian Creole or French or English, That's what you
Swahili.
choose
Yeah.
in Swahili. That's what you navigated in, as opposed to me, being the CEO of Wekeza, thinking, well, I know English and that's what y'all should do. So everyone chooses how they navigate.
And I was teasing about the Black Ebonics, but that might be a language selection.
No, I get it.
Just get ready to ask Greg, is there an Ebonics translator on there too?
We be invested. So it's also the investment. Are they buying shares or fractional shares? How that works?
Great question. And yes, so Crystal Mitchell, I'm going to ask you this question. So yes, it's fractional or whole shares and of stocks and ETFs. Yes.
So like Robin Hood and Stash.
Sort of. Yeah, I mean, and I would say with those companies have less than 3% of Black people that use them. And we all know them because they have gazillion of millions of dollars for marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they also, their target market are not people of color, and their target market is not the African diaspora. In terms of our product roadmap, Crystal, yes, we want to add and partner with African securities exchanges. When I was in Kenya, I helmed the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and they said, Sabrina, we welcome being one of your first exchange partners. So, but we want to, yes. So the answer is on our roadmap, more to come.
Wow.
Do you have anything that's, I'm sorry. Do you have anything that is inclusive, like for parents working with their kids or children, sort of teaching them younger, because kids can lose track of what money is, especially since many of them, they don't see it, they don't touch it, they don't have dollars, everything is digital, everything is just in their phone. So how does that work?
Greg, I don't know how I could forget it, but I'm also the founder of the World of Money.
I was about to get there, yeah.
The leading provider of immersive financial education for children from pre-K to 12th grade. We have a active YouTube channel as well as online courses for children. We were in person here in New York delivering 120 annual classroom hours for children ages 7 to 18, but we've pivoted to all online and licensing to schools. So if you know any schools that need curriculum that looks like the children they serve, for example, if there was a lesson on credit, our children from our curriculum through a recorded video would introduce the subject. So it's children empowering children with the teacher or the facilitator leading that lesson.
So World of Money continues and runs parallel with Wekeza, or?
Correct.
And when was World of Money started?
2005.
You had just launched it. So 2005 is when I met you there. So, well, I know Crystal and Stephen, he had his hand up. So, Stephen Tunier, okay. I just looked at your name there. So Crystal, and then over to Stephen, or Stephen, you actually had your hand up first. What you got?
Yeah, let Stephen go. Let Stephen go.
All right. Well, we'll come back to Stephen. Crystal?
Okay, so yeah, because there was a stock that I watch a young lady that does she's a podcaster out of Nigeria, and that Kote petroleum refinery is going. Yeah, I want to get in on that.
Me too. I can't wait. Obviously, he's Nigerian. We just had a launch event here in Harlem at the Dangote Hall that he, kind of founded and invested in the Africa Center here in Harlem. But his mission this fall is to list to the IPO with a Nigerian exchange. I can't wait till it gets to the NYSE. But, his mission is to start with the Nigerian stock exchange.
Yeah, I'd love.
I'm watching.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put that for everyone else. There's a young lady, African young woman. I don't know if I think she's kind of I think she's in this country as well. because I've seen her interview someone recently that's here, but she has a fabulous podcast and she keeps you abreast of everything going on in Africa. But this is something big. He owned already a petrol.
Does she wear glasses?
Yeah, she wears glasses, her hair braided. Kind of sometimes her hair is like I have mine.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I know who you're talking about. I watch her podcast as well.
Yeah, she's really, really good, but she really keeps you abreast of what, and so
Can of Genius. Can of Genius.
Yes. That's it. And so I was like, okay, how do I do this?
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones that are invested. My money's on Robinhood and also on Stash. So I have several accounts over there, and if there's another one,
well, come on over to Wekeza.
I've already downloaded the app. I was just looking for my WhatsApp and phone numbers. All right, Stephen. On my way right now.
Well, Crystal, as far as I like to show everyone my cup.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, Stephen.
Hey.
Thank you for attending my event in Atlanta. Thank you.
Yes. And I want you to tell for the listeners, it's an easy process to open up accounts. And, Sabrina, you can tell them steps in addition to picture of your ID or your passport. What are the steps to open up an account?
So first is choosing the language you want to navigate in. And then you can, what you'll see is the dashboard. On the dashboard are different resources. And in terms of opening your brokerage account, and we partner with Choice Trade to open the brokerage account, you have to go through the KYC, Know Your Customer. Everyone does, where you scan, your face is scanned, and then you provide your driver's license or your passport, and then you answer a series of questions. And there's few screens that you have to answer that were legally required by regulators, by SEC and FINRA, that everyone has to ask, wherever they are in the world. And then your account is approved immediately, and then you fund your account and you begin trading.
Don't want any money laundering going on there. Yeah, I'm on. We got we got the place to put the money.
Allocate some of my monies over there. So the YouTube channel is that all on your website? Because I work with young people, teaching them how to be entrepreneurs, and we recently took them to Junior Achievement to understand financial literacy, and a lot of them were extremely interested, and so I'd like to be able to put that in our classroom so that the kids can follow along with that, and then I will introduce it when I'm starting my next cohort.
Fantastic. So yes, so the YouTube channel for World of Money and Wekeza, they're separate. And so they're two separate platforms on YouTube. The worldofmoney.org website, then there's a Wekeza website. And so one is focused on children and one is focused on Wekeza, focused on adults and families.
Okay.
And schools.
And schools, fantastic, because that's where we have to be. We got to teach our people how to maintain, how to grow their money. And, the stock market is definitely one of those ways, because mine is, since I started it, as long as you just let it throw some money over there and just let it reinvest, you don't even have to think about it. It just does its own little thing, and you just choose the stock that you're interested in. I choose stock that I spend lots of money in, because I figure at some point I'm gonna get it back.
No, but that's it. That's the way, because I'm always asked, someone asks me, okay, I know Sabrina, what should I invest in? I know there's a lot of YouTube channels telling people what they should invest in. That's unethical, and you have to have a license to be able to do it. Our approach is, because what happens if something happens? Then where is that person? So What we do is we give you the information so that you can make the decision. There's a video posted on the S&P 500. What is Standard & Poor's 500, and what's the purpose of it, and how it has performed over time, giving everyone the information so that they can make the decision. But we don't give out, you should invest in XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
everyone has different goals, etc.
And I think if you're connected to it, then like I said, I do that's the Warren Buffett method. If I use it, then I need to invest in it. The other part is why this education is so important. Case in point is when Elon went public with SpaceX, not understanding, and I work with a company that is trading. I do the financials for a company that's trading in the penny stocks right now. We're getting ready to move up, but what the reporting is, and so that recent thing where the SEC wants to change it to 6 months versus the quarter, and then of course then 6 months is going to go into a year. Basically, we don't want to report what our earning, what we're doing, so that we can continue to do, and why that's so important. But understanding that when Elon, they launched SpaceX, and he's millions and billions of dollars in debt. And now what's the fallout? So if you didn't understand that, you think, oh yeah, wow, he's worth $2 trillion. No, he's not. That's not cash.
Correct. And there's another part in terms of the financial education I encourage everyone to review. You might think, first of all, I watch all the financial channels, first thing that comes on in my home every day. There's over 3,000 publicly traded companies listed. Okay, they only cover certain companies. I don't know why that is, but there's other companies. But there may be other criteria you may have. Stephen, Joseph, Duncan, you may want, well, I care about the ethics of this company. Maybe they're doing really well, and maybe they have a dividend that I really appreciate. But I don't like the ethics of this company. Maybe they're poisoning Black communities.
Yes.
So you have to know your why, and you have to I encourage everyone to do your research so you can make the best decision. Now, there's some people who say, I don't care. Does it give me a great dividend? Then great. That's for you. But all of those are your whys, and that's the financial education I encourage everyone to experience.
Yeah, I have to. It has to fit within my philosophies. I don't invest in companies that don't do that. So because basically they're making money off of you. So, and you don't believe in them. So why are you doing that? So it's very, very important. But I think this space of introducing our people to the stock market is extremely important, because most of them are very fearful because they've never been taught this part. But this helps grow, and then it understands your 401ks if you're an employee, and not letting everybody else make the decision for you, because they're doing it in their best interest, not in your best interest.
Correct. And so it's all, we need to be at the table of our financial table and not on the menu. And so we all have the capability to do it. And then that builds trust, and then you decide on what to do and how your money is going to be managed, or directed.
I was reading an article this morning about the ratio of the CEO's compensation package in comparison to one was the median, the other one was the lowest, the median employee, what they're making and what that multiple is. And, some 40, 50 years ago, it was like 21 to 1. And now there's some companies that are 650 to 1, 1,000 to 1. So that means that, the CEO is making 1,000 times more per year, if not greater than the median employee, let alone the person on the very bottom. And also how many companies have taken full-time employees, 40-hour, and bumped them down to 30, so they don't get the benefits, they don't get the retirement planning or full health care. So there's a lot of things there, and so we need to look at that in terms of where we're purchasing and how they're treating, because we're enriching them, and
correct,
but they're not letting it flow down to those who are really helping that company to achieve. So
that's part of your financial education on what stock you choose or which company you choose to invest in. So, and then when you look at ETFs, maybe you're interested in commodities, maybe you're interested in retail companies, maybe you're interested in security, CrowdStrike, those companies that are trying to protect all of our passwords or whatever. There's so many different types of companies. And then, as Crystal said, I invest in things that are companies that I'm sitting around every day, that I'm using every day. We're already investing as consumers, but now to move into being real investors is important.
Because there's mutual funds also that have heavy investment in the 3 or 4 corporations that profit off of incarceration. CCA being the largest one.
Yes.
And there I forget the other one, VC, something like that. But there's 4 corporations that really have purchased a lot of the state-run prisons, and then they set minimums where I think the CCA had a 94.7% occupancy minimum. So that means they get down into the 90s or 80s. Okay, we got to bust some more heads and get people arrested to meet that minimum for that corporation. So when it got privatized. So again, it's about giving that information, that education, so that we can invest wisely. So that's a wonderful thing, Sabrina, that you're bringing to the table. The multiple languages. I still think I'm playfully, but I'm taking one that takes English and translating it to Ebonics. So
that's my next language, Greg.
What you're saying, Greg, is people get intimidated by words, right? And so that would be something fun to have on your platform, strictly from the standpoint of because of that there's a familiarity with that. See, Sabrina, talk to us a little bit about we have a lot of young people who dial in, not necessarily every week, but they follow us on Facebook and YouTube and places like that. Talk to us a little bit about background, getting somebody, as you start to build your team, you start to look for folks. What are some of the classes, some of the skills that are going to be needed? Because again, folks need to, what I'm hearing from you, and I'm loving this, we have to really, really engage in our financial future.
Absolutely.
It's not about anymore that we're just going to let that go and we're going to let somebody else take care of it. We have to be educated ourselves. Kareem lost all of his first money because he let somebody else manage his money, right?
Wow.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lost all of his first money because he was an honor student, but he let somebody else manage his money. So part of this is, no, you don't have to become a professional, but you need to know the language. And I love the idea that you're presenting this in multiple languages. So talk to us a little bit.
Well, with children, is that I've done for decades, ages 7 to 18, is that children from the time they were in the crib, they have a keen understanding of money because they've been watching parents. They're watching from the crib. They hear, they see you going into your wallet and going to the store. They're watching everything. They see the arguments. They watch. Maybe they can't put the words to it, but they understand. Okay, this gets this. This gets this. And though they understand that this money is one of the most powerful currencies on the planet, besides love or your religion or spiritual practice, children are naturally financial sociopaths.
Yes.
Okay. They're never going to sit any parent down and say, can we talk about your retirement? Are you financially secure? Can we spend less? Children are never going to do that. And so I wrote a book called Do I Look Like an ATM? A Parent's Guide to Raising Financially Responsible Children. And really it's unpacking a parent's relationship with money so that they can protect themselves from their sociopathic children. Okay? So there's a dictator parent, there's a saboteur parent, etc. The Disneyland parent that telling the child everything is wonderful when they know the lights are getting ready to turn off, or telling the collector, you're not home, all that kind of stuff. Children are watching all of that. But then spiritually, because of everything we've experienced on this planet, I also say that we're not, and I can include myself in this we're not going to save one nickel unless we believe that our life is worth saving.
Yeah.
And so I remember Justin from Virginia, he was in New York during one of our institutes, 40 classroom hours, 120 classroom hours. And one of the things he said was he didn't believe that Black folks did this type of stuff. His understanding of relationship with money was only consumerism, only cajoling his parents into going to buy that next thing to fill the emptiness in their soul. And so what I had to spend together with my instructors, had to spend a lot of time before we get into budgeting and credit and all that sort of thing, is building the spiritual self-esteem of children. And I see it in parents too, particularly in mothers who say, I've given my children everything. Why don't they fill in the blank? And I say, you need to put your airplane mask on first. Okay, because little Jamal and all them other people, they're going to take care of their own interests. Okay, so we have to get frank and have these conversations like that. Because before we get into those disciplines, because no one wants to budget. Let's just say start there. If you announce the class on budgeting in California, in Los Angeles, 2 weeks from today, you'll get 3 people. It's just like the class on dieting. No one's coming. It's like the class on health. 3 more people are coming. It's because of our historic
distrust,
and how we value our own lives. And if we don't get any signals, we're already getting the direct signals from there's no safety nets.
Yeah,
and that's why. Our people on the continent in the Caribbean, there's no economic safety nets there either. And that's why they're so entrepreneurial. There's no going down to the unemployment office. And soon you're going to see less that here. Already companies are not providing any pensions. That's going away. So then I say, like the late Adam Clayton Powell used to say, what's in your hand? What's in your hand? And so that's what we teach children, have taught children, that you're perfect as you are, and not to use money to fill the emptiness in your soul. You don't have to spend one more thing to be perfect or to be better. You're already perfect. And that's what a lot of our expenditures are based on, of us as a people filling the emptiness in our souls.
I took during the summertime with Biz Camp, we take the kids every summer to junior achievement, and they give them like a life scenario, and they give them a job and so forth, and then allocate what their salary is, and then they have to go through all the little storefronts to purchase insurance and so forth, and they tell them they have children and so forth. And so afterwards, it's always interesting to hear their comments and to find out who were savers and who were not. So I had one young lady, she had like $208,000 in her savings account. And she said, I just, a lot of my self-care I do myself, so I didn't have to spend money. And I put a lot of money into savings before she actually started buying. And one little boy says to me, being an adult is not easy. I'm going home and doing my chores. I'm not complaining. Whatever she want me to do, I'm going to stay a kid as long as I can.
That's it.
Right.
That is it.
When they see the clear reality that they're experiencing, or reality, there's a different conversation when they go home. Now, it's best if the parent keeps it going. But if the parent allows them to revert back, okay, everybody get in the car, we're going to spend every nickel we have, then the child says, okay.
Exactly, and that's what happens.
You reminded me, and this is, my kids are 45. I'm getting ready. My baby about to be 41. But when I got laid off and my husband was like, well, I don't want to tell the kids. I'm like, no, we got to tell them because one of these days it might happen to them, right? But the chicken McNuggets had come out, right? And McDonald's was making all kinds of money. And I said, no, we're going to Costco and we're going to buy a big bag of chicken McNuggets. And you don't just have to have 5 if you want. You can have 7. You can have 10 if you want to. You can have a 10-pack if you want to. Have your own chicken McNuggets. So again, to your point, it is teaching them what everyday life looks like. So this is I'm say the word again, Wekeza.
Wekeza, Wekeza. That's my fintech, and then World of Money is for children. And I also remind parents that children want their parent.
Yes.
They'll take all the little bells and trinkets and everything, but they really want you. So never use things as a substitute for being there with them. Because in 6 months after Christmas, they're not going to remember what they cajoled you into, nagged you to buy.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. They're not going to
later
remember
on
what that
day.
was. Right.
Later on that day.
Get thrown on the floor after they didn't beg for it. And now they don't even care about it anymore.
But they will remember in their life the time that parents spent with them, creating those treasured moments. That's what children really want.
And the challenge now, because I was saying so much is digital. I mean, our parents, they had layaway. And so if you couldn't afford something, you paid down on it. You didn't get the merchandise until you finished paying for it. And so that's a different thing. And then now, since it's digital, I so many of my clients, they're not even receiving statements in the mail. Paper's not even coming in, so it's all digital. So it doesn't seem real.
It. We don't, so we can ignore it.
Yes.
You don't know what they're doing because you don't see that. You don't see it. You don't see your bank account. I had a client and been in business forever. When I went to do her finance, like, what the heck? Where did you learn finances? It was just disastrous. It was the worst I've ever seen. And I've been doing accounting, bookkeeping for a long time. And that was the worst. But you do have to start when they're a kid. We started with my nephews. We play cash when they were little. When they were about 13, we started playing cash flow. And every time we played cash flow, it's a different scenario, just like the Junior Achievement. So they have a better understanding. One of them is a super saver, and but they learned it very early. And they only ask for money if they absolutely have to. When they were in college, they learned how to use the system to do focus groups to make money. And they were at every focus group until they graduated. I think one of them took it even to college.
Wow.
So you have to teach it early, but understanding money and how money works is important, especially those of us, entrepreneurs. So you got to know that that's important. You got to know not commingling your personal with your business. And you got to know, even if you haven't made any money, open a bank account specifically for your business because you are spending money. And then how to all of the processes. And that's the part that we have to teach so that they can grow the business, but also grow the money and making sure that there are other revenue streams, because there's just no relationship. But it's interesting that you're saying we think that we're unique, obviously, because of the enslavement. But you're saying that some of the same things that we as African and Black people here in America are doing, the same thing is happening in Africa as well.
Correct. And Caribbean is even less. Even same. We're all connected. We're all connected. And
I've said when I went to Africa and I was in South Africa in Cape Town, and I was going, and my daughter lives in Cairo, and when I go there, I always feel the same hole we feel that's missing. They're feeling the same hole. It's like there's the connection has to come together because we're not whole. Half of us they feel it, even though they're still on the continent. And we're over here thinking it's just us, but it's not.
It's same.
Wow.
And there are people out there that are trying to, they even look like us, they're trying to disconnect us or whatever. That I don't know what.
Yeah, I heard some new stuff coming out of New York called the Foundational Black Folks. Yeah, have you heard
Yeah,
about?
I don't know where they're from, but you know they really need to. I don't know what they're doing. I see a question I want to definitely answer, and there was a Greg, you mentioned regarding the layaways. That industry went away. I don't know when, but now
Credit
it's back.
cards.
Like it's like no layaway,
1974.
right? But now it's back like a vengeance, specifically targeting our communities and driving up their financial vulnerability and debt. Yes, Stephen. Yes, the Wilmington coup and massacre of 1898. Yeah. So yeah, there are other, and we hear about Tulsa, and you asked about Techstars. So Techstars is a business accelerator, and they accept about 12 out of thousands of applications. I was honored that they accepted Wekeza, and they invest and they provide training. I went to the Techstars Tulsa location, and I specifically went there because of what happened there. They're still, after almost a century, they're still trying to rebuild Greenwood. Still.
Yeah.
Sabrina, give us a 30-second plug on the WBLS open line.
Give you the plug?
Yeah. No, are you still on the open line?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so every Sunday, most Sundays, we broadcast from WBLS's Facebook page. We're talking about what's happening, mostly politics. I talk about what's happening financially, culturally, together with my three other co-hosts, and that's 9 a.m. So get up, California, 9 a.m.
And what is it? WBL?
WBLS 107.5.
Okay.
Right, on their Facebook page. There's an online show and there's a Facebook page that we do right after the online show.
So 9 a.m. Pacific time, darling?
No, darling.
No, she meant 9 Eastern.
No.
When you said get up, I was like, oh, she's talking about the real six.
Essentially sunrise.
Yeah, really.
And then if you miss it, it's there in the archives.
Right.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
right,
we come about 9:15 or whatever, and then we interview different guests or whatever, and we just chop it up. What's happening?
Is it the podcast or the live stream? What is?
It's live. But after the show is over, it's archived there, so you can see previous shows there. So you don't have to get up, Robin. You can just watch the recording. Okay.
No, I'm up because I'm a church girl.
Okay.
I really value the fact let me go and do my official thing. Sabrina Lamb, we would welcome Wekeza to become our official designee affiliate partner to help us with the investment side, fintech side. And we do a lot of work with, a lot of us do a lot of work with kids. So we would like to deem you, boom, you've been deemed our fintech correspondent. You're welcome back. You're welcome back anytime. I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna open up an account. I was looking for some place to put some other money because I've been dealing with some banks and I'm done with them. And then one of the things that Rochelle said, a lot of times people don't invest because they're scared to lose money. And I think that if you take the time and work with an organization such as yours, they will find the investments that allow you that protects your principal. It's going to protect your principal.
Yeah, I mean it's and I just reiterate, it's not get rich quick. It's choose your companies, choose that ETF, which is like almost like a mutual fund, that basket or whatever. Just be very thoughtful in where you are investing. And it's not get rich quick. That's not the purpose of Wekeza. Is to say, well, I have done my research and I'm going to put some money towards this company. I'm going to add to the account, whether it's fractional or whole share, because I value and I want to have some assets, And
Yes,
when you
yes.
sign up for the Wekeza account, you'll get 3 emails. You'll get an email from Wekeza, welcome to Wekeza. Then you'll get an email from our broker dealer partner, Choice Trade, and BLOX. BLOX holds your money. Sabrina Lamb don't have your money, okay? So don't ask me for it. Right? SEC regulations requires that all funds are, held by our broker dealer partner. And then you all have my email address. Sabrina, I have whatever. Can we hop on the phone or whatever? I'll put my email in the chat. I already added my LinkedIn. But yeah, welcome. I welcome working together with you and other communities.
Oh, I know Dominique Reese.
You know Dominique, she taught at World of Money she's a great teacher for children.
Yeah, I have another podcast. She was a guest on one on the Business Zone about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I know her. I see you have lessons. Are they only in Swahili, or are there you have on the app? I'm looking on the app and it said it was financial education. Is that, and I see courses, free courses?
Are you on the website or the app?
App.
Okay, so when you go to wekeza.com, and then it'll say the website, and then it says at the top, start
so like
learning.
The language, yeah.
Okay.
Start learning, and then when you get to the course part, then that is where you choose which language.
Okay, so for those, so you're afraid of losing your money, the best way to do that is to understand how the stock market works and how investing, how the whole thing works, because
holistic.
Yeah, holistic.
It's not just stocks. It's just
everything.
It's just doing a cultural internal reset about everything. And then probably in August or September, I'm going to start having live global investing forums. So it's not just an app, it's not just a website, community, and we have to, and then invite, bring on, professionals or what have you. If you could recommend anyone that would like to participate as a financial expert. And again, not saying, well, you should invest in this, but how you should think about investing in this, that, or the other. Because our people, no matter if they're here or they're in Tanzania, they're seeking this information. Just walk me through this. Walk me through this.
It's just amazing. And so there definitely needs to be a connection with the African diaspora and us, because their need is just like ours. You are amazing. We have a young Robin. We have what's her name that comes on? She's written children's books, and she focuses on women and financial education. She's usually on all the time, but she hasn't been recently since the tax season. So we have to get you two guys together, because that would be great. And let us know when you're going to do that, and we can blast it out when I send out the marketing for the show every week, and then another show.
I have 2. My publisher is screaming at me, but I have 2 children's financial education books that will be coming out soon. One for little boys and one for little girls. So, telling them a story. So
yeah, I'm finishing up. Next week, I'm finishing up my book on youth entrepreneurship. So
we're all writing, we're all working.
all working. This has been wonderful, though. So I hope you guys, if you don't have your own portfolio even in fractional works, man, because you ain't got but a little bit of money,
right?
Fractional adds up.
That's right.
You're doing it for the long term anyway.
Long term.
You just look over there every now and then, every time when they say, okay, it just was a bloodbath, and like, oh, do I really gonna look over there today? But one of mine is intelligently.
Once I invest in a company, I'm investing long term, and I'm not enamored by, oh my gosh, unless it's like, the company closed or something. But it goes up and it goes down, and that's why you just hold on.
Yeah.
If you believe in the company, you just hold on.
Exactly. And as long as you can look at their financials, I'm good.
Right. Oh, I know this accounting.
If I can't see financials, I ain't good. That's my problem with crypto. Where are the financials? I can't read financials. I cannot invest my money.
No, I want, hi, Robin. I want to, thank you, Robin Phillips. I just want people, I understand crypto is there. I understand it's going to be here. But can we just get the basics first? Can we just,
Yeah, right,
can
exactly,
we just,
exactly. Can we
before
start
we're
at
in the most volatile security on the planet?
jump right on into the adult level and then didn't start at start you
Well,
didn't start
thank
at
you. You
go.
need to be at pre-K first.
Learn addition before advanced trigonometry.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. And how fast do you want to lose your money? Okay.
Right. It's daily and nightly. Stephen, who's here next week?
Mr. Guido, I want to also thank you ever so much for being a guest.
Thank you,
I'll be in
Sabrina.
New York on the 26th and 27th. I'll give you a phone call.
Of July?
Yeah, next weekend.
Email me when you're coming, your available times. We break bread.
Okay, good. And
And
next week we're gonna have an open forum.
All righty, all
So
righty.
since we're coming back together after summer break.
I'll be in New York in October. I think the first week. A friend of mine is launching a book and we're launching a podcast, so I will be there in that time frame.
Same here. Same thing. You all have my email addresses. You have email address, not plural, and then you have my LinkedIn as well here.
All right, everybody grab it and everybody go over there and open up their account with Wekeza. And let's start start building our wealth and start worrying about other people and the craziness that they're doing, because they're doing their thing. We need to do our thing and take care of ourselves. And Sabrina, when you find out, as we finding out what's happening with Dakota, please, because I want to be part of that. So when you find it out, you find it before me. Just let a sister know.
Let me just say, whatever is built on the continent of Africa, you have to go to the Dangote company. If you need stone, cement, sand, seed, he owns everything.
Okay, yeah. So you can let a sister know so I can get in on that one, boy, because wow. Now let me ask this question before we jump off. So I know in Johannesburg, that's kind of like the business metropolis in southern Africa. Are they a little bit more savvy? The Africans same.
Less than 3% participate. I mean, even after all these years of apartheid, the distribution of wealth with 3% of non-Black people own everything. 98% of the population, the lights are still off.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of other things happening over there now, but we don't have time to go into that. But the distribution of wealth is just like when Madiba Nelson Mandela was in prison. Hasn't changed a bit.
No, it really hasn't. It's almost like we gave you a Black president. Sound familiar? What the heck else do you people want?
We'll do that, but we will not distribute wealth or equity at all.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's why we have to get on board to do what we have to do. And if we do it with the diaspora, that right there makes us the majority. And there's a lot of money rolling through Africa. So we just
here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you've been wonderful. Please come back anytime you have anything to share with us. We, as Robin said, you're our correspondent now. And however we can support you, we are here for you.
And same here. Please let me know how I can support as well.
Yeah, and let us know when you get ready to do your book launch. We'll kick it out from our side over here because I think that's valuable.
I may have to come to Los Angeles to have a Wekeza event. So
we would love to have a Wekeza event. We got I don't know if Sarah is still on. We are the Greater Is Sarah still here? Did she leave? We have the Greater Los Angeles Black Leaders Coalition. So there's like 19 organizations that are now working together. So we could do something within that space that would bring everybody's organizations in.
Okay. It just came to my mind just this moment. So we'll talk.
All right.
When the weather in New York hits single-digit degrees, you can come out here to California.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. And this was wonderful for our comeback after our little vacation. And so it'll be up on YouTube shortly. Next week, I'm not taking any clients, so it should be everything should be up next week. And you've been awesome, Sabrina. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
And we look forward to continuing our relationship with you and Wekeza. And thank you. And everyone else, thank you for joining us. And we will see you guys next week.
Next week. Give my regards to Broadway.
All right.
In the meantime,
Bye-bye,
everybody,
everyone.
let's prosper.
Yes.
Bye, Sabrina.
Yes. Bye-bye. All righty.